And before beginning, I would love to hear from you if you are seeking financial advice or have questions. I've put together a very short Google form survey, the link is in the description, and I'm really interested to hear what your single most important financial advice question is. I have some great and humorous quotes today from Carl Icahn, the famous activist, investor, and corporate raider. His 1985 hostile entrance of TWA Airlines was likely inspiration for the 1987 Michael Douglas film Wall Street. And Icahn has maybe been best known in the last 2 decades for picking public fights with other high-profile business leaders. You may find my Icahn quotes a bit cynical and brash. Please bear in mind that these are coming from an older man who no longer answers to anyone but his wife. I personally see a lot of good intentions in the quotes I grabbed. My first group of quotes are about investing as a business, and I'll start with a quote about keeping your ego in check. Icahn told a Wall Street Journal reporter that some of his best advice would be, when friends and acquaintances are telling you that you're a genius, before you accept their opinion, take a moment to remember what you always thought of their opinions in the past. And I found this quote everywhere I looked. It hits an awfully funny note in the midst of this latest AI boom. Some people get rich studying artificial intelligence. Me, I make my money studying natural stupidity. And I like this next quote because inaction is often given as a recommended course. In life and business, there are 2 cardinal sins. The first is to act precipitously without thought, and the second is to not act at all. And Icahn has a really clever line about supply and demand. He quips, when nobody wants something, that creates an opportunity. And I like again this call to watching one's ego with honest judgment. Don't confuse luck with skill when judging others, and especially when judging yourself. This quote isn't much a surprise given that Icahn is reportedly still in his hustle today at age 85. I enjoy the hunt much more than the good life after the victory. And this next quote should ring sweet to the lonely. Icahn says, you learn in this business that if you want a friend, then go get a dog. And I like my next group of quotes aimed at the troubles Icahn sees with corporate America. Though I personally have a hard time accepting the level of cynicism extended by Icahn in this quote, it's definitely something that many people believe. Now, the guy that got to the top, the CEO, would obviously be stupid to have a number 2 guy who is a lot smarter than he is. So by definition, since he's a survivor and he got to the top and he isn't that brilliant, his number 2 guy is going to always be a little worse than he is. So as time goes on, it's anti-Darwinism, the survival of the unfittest. And I really like this next quote because it tells us about the benefits of activists and hands-on investors. We want these assets to be productive. We buy them, we own them. To say we only care about the short term is wrong. What I care about is seeing these assets in the best hands. Icahn gave this line to Bloomberg when discussing his view for fixes to corporate culture. We have bloated bureaucracies in corporate America. The root of the problem is the absence of real corporate democracy. Icahn later went on adding this hard line about corporate politics. Too often it's not the most creative guys or the smartest. Instead it's the ones who are best at playing politics and soft-soaping their bosses. Boards don't like tough, abrasive guys. And I have a downright admission. I'm a cynic about corporate democracy and boards. I like the leisurely tone of this next quote. Icahn is often calling boards and CEOs, not that they're always listening. Had a nice conversation with Tim Cook today. Discussed my opinion that a larger buyback should be done now. We plan to speak again shortly. And this last quote was a jab at losing trades by Bill Ackman, but maybe shed some light on how to get in this man's company. Anyone that makes me $250 million, I like. Thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to fill out the survey in the description if you are after financial advice.